King Charles III's coronation was an event of unparalleled grandeur, marked by golden regalia gleaming in the light and hymns echoing beneath the vaulted ceilings of Westminster Abbey. Dignitaries and royals held their breath, fully aware they were witnessing history in the making. Yet, amid the solemnity and carefully orchestrated splendor, an unexpected moment disrupted the facade of harmony. Queen Consort Camilla turned sharply toward Catherine, Princess of Wales, and delivered a scolding that left onlookers stunned. Before Catherine could respond, Princess Charlotte intervened with remarkable composure, whispering, "I'm warning you." The boldness of Charlotte's words sent ripples through the room, threatening the monarchy's carefully cultivated image. The coronation unfolded under intense scrutiny, with Westminster Abbey's ancient walls bearing witness to the weight of history. Dignitaries, esteemed guests, and members of the royal family lined the aisles, each acutely aware of the significance of the occasion. At the center of the ceremony, Queen Consort Camilla exuded confidence, her finely tailored ivory robe perfectly suited to the grandeur of the event. However, a subtle tension seemed to permeate the atmosphere, hinting at underlying discord. Despite the event's intended celebration of unity, it became increasingly apparent that harmony was not universally felt within the royal ranks. Catherine, Princess of Wales, radiated her signature grace and poise, dressed in a striking deep sapphire gown. Yet, for those observing closely, a frosty undertone seemed to accompany her interactions. Fleeting glances exchanged between her and Camilla suggested something deeper than mere formality. As the royal family settled into their positions, the tension that had simmered quietly came to a head. In a fleeting yet palpable moment, Camilla turned sharply toward Catherine. Lip readers later reconstructed the terse exchange, noting Camilla's subtle gesture toward Princess Charlotte accompanied by the words, "Take her." The command, though simple, carried an unmistakable sharpness, a tone that many felt exceeded her authority. Despite the provocation, Catherine remained composed, seated alongside her children. Still, the moment left a visible fracture in the otherwise polished image of the day. Beside her, Catherine maintained her composure, but her smile seemed tighter than before. She placed a gentle hand on Charlotte's arm. To anyone unfamiliar with royal dynamics, it appeared to be the picture of maternal grace, a mother guiding her daughter through a solemn event. However, to those paying close attention, the flicker of tension in Catherine's eyes told a different story. She had clearly heard Camilla's words and chosen not to respond. Charlotte, however, was not so easily subdued. For a moment, her small figure seemed to carry the weight of the room. It was then that Princess Charlotte confronted Camilla. Her words, "I'm warning you," were not the defiance of a child acting out, but the assertiveness of someone aware of being treated unjustly. The interaction was brief but seismic. Camilla's confident demeanor faltered, her mouth tightened, and her gaze flickered toward Catherine, perhaps hoping for intervention, but it never came. The contrast between Catherine and Camilla at that moment was striking. Catherine remained calm, offering Charlotte an encouraging smile and subtly steering her attention back toward the ceremony. There was no sharp reprimand, no visible sign of strain, only the steady hand of a mother prioritizing her daughter's comfort over the unspoken politics unfolding around them. It was a masterclass in grace under pressure, the kind of quiet power for which Catherine had become known. In contrast, Camilla seemed momentarily unsettled. Although she quickly adjusted her posture and resumed her regal composure, the earlier interaction lingered like an echo. Her attempt to assert authority over the young princess had not only failed but had visibly shifted the power dynamic within the family. Despite her efforts to solidify her role as queen consort, Camilla now seemed slightly distanced, her control over the narrative momentarily slipping. For royal watchers and analysts, this moment revealed far more than it initially seemed to. It offered a glimpse into the underlying struggles within the royal family. The rising influence of the younger generation, embodied by Charlotte's quiet but forceful assertion, stood in stark contrast to Camilla's firm yet increasingly vulnerable presence. Behind the gilded walls of Westminster Abbey, the coronation became more than a ceremony, it became a tableau of shifting power. At just 9 years old, Princess Charlotte's assertiveness is already making waves in the royal family. She is poised, confident, and unfazed by public attention. Charlotte carries herself with a maturity well beyond her years. The moment when she confronted Camilla was no anomaly. Rather, it was the latest in a series of moments highlighting her growing role as a force to be reckoned with. Charlotte's composure, even under scrutiny, suggests a young royal who understands both her place in history and her ability to influence it. Charlotte's natural poise is something the world has witnessed time and again. While other children might shy away from the overwhelming gaze of the public, she steps forward with confidence. Take the Platinum celebrations as an example. Seated alongside her younger brother, Prince Louis, Charlotte's leadership instincts took center stage. As Louis grew restless, clapped offbeat, and made faces, Charlotte leaned over and firmly corrected him. The exchange was captured on camera and replayed countless times. It was a small moment, yet it resonated deeply. Charlotte demonstrated her ability to maintain decorum while acting decisively, a reflection of someone who understood royal expectations and was willing to enforce them, even among her siblings. Charlotte's composed assertiveness shone even brighter during Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Draped in black with a small horseshoe brooch pinned to her coat, a nod to her great-grandmother's love of horses, Charlotte captured the hearts of millions. Her demeanor throughout the emotionally charged day was flawless. She maintained perfect posture, her gaze steady as she followed the royal protocols of mourning alongside senior family members. When the gravity of the ceremony brought tears to Prince George's eyes, Charlotte stepped in once again. A soft nudge and whispered guidance seemed to anchor him. Cameras caught the moment as Charlotte quietly led the way and bowed to the Queen's coffin with the dignity of a seasoned royal. This wasn't just a child being well-behaved, it was a young leader emerging under the global spotlight. In an event where even seasoned adults struggled to hold their composure, Charlotte's quiet strength was undeniable. Her actions reminded royal watchers of the late Princess Diana's ability to connect with people through poise and empathy. Like her grandmother, Charlotte seems to carry an innate understanding of her role, not as a burden but as an opportunity to lead. Public interactions further demonstrate Charlotte's confidence. Unlike many children her age, she seems entirely at ease during formal engagements. Whether it's waving to crowds, curtsying to senior royals, or joining her parents in walkabouts, she exudes an air of natural authority. During the Commonwealth Day service, she was photographed guiding her younger brother into the chapel, gently placing her hand on Prince Louis's back. Such moments reveal both her ability to take charge and her instinct to nurture, traits her mother has encouraged. What sets Charlotte apart is her ability to balance this assertiveness with grace. Her actions are never disruptive or inappropriate, instead, they reflect a young girl who understands both her responsibilities and the weight of her family name. While Prince George's role as the future king places him in the spotlight, Charlotte has carved out her own space, one that commands attention and respect. Observers have often compared her to her late grandmother, Princess Diana. Diana's presence in any room was magnetic, her confidence tempered by a deep sense of empathy. Charlotte's actions evoke the same duality. She is firm when needed, yet her compassion is evident in the way she interacts with those around her. It is no coincidence that moments where Charlotte has taken the lead resonate so deeply with the public. They reflect the human side of the royal family, a quality Diana was celebrated for. Within the family dynamic, Charlotte's personality holds a stabilizing influence. Catherine and William have worked hard to give their children a sense of normalcy while preparing them for the pressures of royal life. Charlotte's emerging confidence suggests their approach is paying off. Where others might wilt under scrutiny, she thrives. This assertiveness doesn't go unnoticed by those within the family. Insiders have described Charlotte as wise beyond her years and admire her ability to adapt to situations quickly. Prince William has been overheard calling her the boss, a light-hearted acknowledgement of her natural leadership. Even Queen Elizabeth II reportedly admired Charlotte's spirit, once commenting that the young princess ruled the roost among her siblings. In the world of royalty, where tradition and formality often dominate, Princess Anne is celebrated for her no-nonsense attitude. This same trait appears to be a guiding influence behind Charlotte's strength and poise. She is known as the hardest-working royal, and her reputation for discipline, resilience, and straightforwardness has earned her deep respect both within the monarchy and among the public. It is no surprise, then, that her influence has extended to the next generation, particularly to her great-niece. Behind Princess Charlotte's poised assertiveness lies Anne's quiet mentorship. This guiding presence has helped shape the young princess into a confident and capable figure who can navigate the complexities of royal life. Princess Anne's approach to life and duty has always set her apart. As the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, she was raised with the same expectations as her brothers but without the weight of the crown. This allowed her to cultivate her own sense of purpose. While others might have been content with ceremonial appearances, and carved a path defined by relentless work and practical action. As the patron of over 300 charities, she undertakes hundreds of engagements each year, often without fanfare. For Anne, duty is not a performance, it is a way of life. This unshakable work ethic and down-to-earth approach have made her a role model for younger royals like Charlotte. Sources close to the royal family have noted Anne's special connection with Charlotte. While Princess Anne is known for her brisk demeanor and famously sharp tongue, she has taken a particular interest in nurturing Charlotte's growing confidence. In private family gatherings, Anne spends time with Charlotte, sharing stories from her own experiences and offering advice on how to remain steady under pressure. Insiders describe Anne as being both firm and encouraging, qualities that have clearly left their mark on Charlotte. One royal observer noted that Anne sees a lot of herself in Charlotte. She admires the way Charlotte carries herself even at such a young age and has taken it upon herself to help Charlotte develop those instincts. Charlotte's behavior during high-pressure public events mirrors the traits Anne has demonstrated throughout her life. She remains calm under scrutiny, confident without being brash, and assertive when necessary. Anne's influence was particularly evident during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, where Charlotte stepped in to correct her younger brother, Prince Louis. This moment echoed Anne's own approach to leadership. Those familiar with Anne's mentorship note that she often emphasizes the importance of standing one's ground without sacrificing dignity, an art she has mastered through decades of royal life. Anne's upbringing provides a fascinating parallel to Charlotte's current experience. As the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, Anne grew up in an environment that valued tradition and propriety above all else. While her older brother Charles was groomed for kingship, Anne was left to forge her own identity within the royal framework. She faced challenges, including intense media scrutiny and the expectation to remain in the background. Rather than shrinking from these pressures, Anne embraced them with characteristic grit. For Charlotte, Anne's story offers inspiration and guidance. Like Anne, Charlotte occupies a unique position in the royal family as second in line to the throne behind her older brother, Prince George. This role comes with its own set of pressures, as historically, spares have struggled to define themselves within the shadow of the heir. Yet, Charlotte's confidence suggests she, like Anne, will rise above these challenges. Anne's ability to chart her own course provides a blueprint for Charlotte as she grows into her role. Anne's famous no-nonsense approach to confrontation also seems to have rubbed off on Charlotte. A notable example is the moment Princess Charlotte confronted Camilla during the coronation. It was a moment of quiet defiance, delivered with precision and confidence, that mirrored Anne's legendary ability to speak her mind without creating unnecessary drama. In time, Charlotte's bond with Princess Anne may prove to be one of the most defining relationships in her life. This dynamic was foreshadowed when Princess Anne took Camilla to task, showcasing a rare moment of power clash. Tensions within the royal family are often hidden behind carefully curated smiles and practiced composure, but occasionally, cracks in the facade reveal the power struggles simmering beneath. One such moment arose between Princess Anne and Queen Consort Camilla, highlighting the complex dynamics of royal life. It was a clash that underscored Anne's legendary no-nonsense attitude and unwavering commitment to tradition. It was also a confrontation that left an unmistakable mark and, in many ways, foreshadowed the dynamics now playing out among the younger royals, most notably in Princess Charlotte. The incident occurred during a private discussion about modernizing aspects of royal traditions. Camilla, eager to stamp her influence on royal affairs as she grew into her role alongside King Charles III, suggested changes she believed would update the monarchy and resonate with a younger generation. Anne, however, was having none of it. As a woman who had spent her life upholding the values and protocols of the institution, her response was as sharp as it was decisive. Turning to Camilla with a look that could silence a room, Anne said, "We've been doing this for centuries. It's not going to change now." Those present at the meeting later recounted the exchange as a rare but clear display of power from Anne. There was no raised voice or theatrical delivery, just an unshakable refusal to compromise. For Anne, tradition is more than ceremony, it is the bedrock of the monarchy, a constant in an ever-changing world. Her words were simple yet firm. They were not just a rejection of Camilla's ideas, but a reminder of Anne's role as the quiet custodian of royal values. This clash revealed much about the dynamic between Anne and Camilla. While Camilla worked hard to solidify her place within the family following years of public skepticism, and remained steadfast in her convictions. As the daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, Anne understood better than anyone the importance of continuity. Her refusal to entertain Camilla's suggestions highlighted a subtle yet unmistakable boundary. Camilla might be queen consort, but Anne would not cede ground when it came to the traditions she held dear. It was a power clash that resonated far beyond the immediate family circle. Anne's stance sent a quiet message that authority within the royal family is not solely defined by titles. Respect, in Anne's eyes, is earned through action, dedication, and a deep understanding of the monarchy's role. Camilla, for all her growing prominence, had yet to secure Anne's full approval, a sentiment that, years later, seems to echo in the younger generation's interactions with her. Anne's commitment to tradition is something Charlotte has clearly absorbed. Just as Anne refused to allow Camilla to reshape royal customs, Charlotte's poised defiance at the coronation signaled an unspoken resistance to being dismissed. Though separated by decades and circumstances, both moments carry the same message: authority cannot be assumed, it must be earned. As Camilla continues to navigate her position, the echoes of Anne's dismissal and Charlotte's warning will linger as a reminder of the expectations within the royal family. For Charlotte, these moments are formative, shaping her into a young leader who understands the value of tradition, the importance of resilience, and the quiet power of standing firm when it matters most. Queen Camilla has carefully navigated her journey into the royal fold, but there have been moments where her actions and decisions have been perceived as overstepping. As she solidified her role following her marriage to King Charles III, Camilla's attempts to assert herself have occasionally backfired, revealing the complexities of her position and the fine line she must walk as queen consort. One of the most prominent examples of Camilla overplaying her hand occurred during Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The Jubilee was meant to be a unifying moment, a celebration of Elizabeth's unprecedented reign, and a chance for the monarchy to showcase its future. Yet, whispers behind palace walls indicated that Camilla's growing presence overshadowed key figures, particularly Catherine, Princess of Wales. According to insiders, Camilla had become increasingly assertive about her prominence in the public eye, pushing for more recognition during official events. This raised eyebrows as Catherine had long been viewed as the future of the monarchy and the family's greatest asset. Camilla's insistence on taking center stage during parts of the Jubilee reportedly frustrated both senior aides and younger royals. Her visible attempts to emphasize her position as the next queen consort felt out of step with the celebratory tone of the event. Her presence during certain televised segments was seen as overly deliberate, an effort to solidify her role at the expense of subtlety. For many watching, it came across as tone-deaf, particularly given her complicated history within the royal family. Another notable incident occurred during the preparations for King Charles III's coronation. With decades of waiting behind her, Camilla had a vested interest in ensuring her moment was as grand and significant as possible. Her role as queen consort meant taking on responsibilities that carried immense symbolism and scrutiny. Reports emerged, however, that Camilla had pushed for her family, the Shands and Parker Bowleses, to receive an unusually prominent role in the ceremony. What she asked for far exceeded the recognition traditionally afforded to in-laws. This decision sparked murmurs of dissent within royal circles. Historically, coronations focus exclusively on the monarch, the immediate royal family, and representatives of the nation's institutions. Including extended members of Camilla's family at such a prominent level struck many as self-serving, especially considering the challenges the monarchy faced in maintaining its relevance. This move was seen not only as an overreach but also as a miscalculation of the public's expectations for the event. Tensions surrounding Camilla's position have not been confined to public ceremonies. Within the royal household, there have been reports of her clashing with senior members, particularly on issues of protocol and tradition. The underlying tension between Camilla and Princess Anne, for instance, reflects a broader dynamic. Anne's loyalty to her mother's legacy contrasts with Camilla's desire to redefine the monarchy in her own image. By challenging long-established customs, Camilla may have underestimated Anne's influence and her firm standing within the family. Their clash serves as a reminder that while Camilla's rise to prominence is undeniable, it is still met with resistance from those who prioritize tradition over change. Additionally, Camilla's attempts to position herself as a modernizer of the monarchy have not always been well received. During her earlier years as Duchess of Cornwall, her efforts to engage with the public through charitable work often came across as calculated rather than genuine. Comparisons to the late Princess Diana, a figure adored for her effortless compassion and connection with people, only heightened these criticisms. Camilla's push to carve out a distinct role sometimes resulted in overreach, with critics accusing her of trying too hard to win public approval. Perhaps the most significant example of Camilla overplaying her hand lies in her broader approach to reshaping public perception. While her marriage to King Charles III brought her closer to the center of royal life, Camilla's efforts to shed the shadows of her controversial past often led to missteps. Her attempts to assert herself as an indispensable part of the monarchy, particularly during moments meant to highlight other members of the family, have occasionally cast her as out of sync with the institution's values of unity and discretion. These moments, whether during jubilees, coronations, or private clashes, reveal the challenges Camilla faces as she navigates her role. Each overstep, whether subtle or overt, serves as a reminder that Camilla's journey into the royal family has been anything but smooth. In a family where tradition reigns supreme, miscalculations can leave lasting impressions. Camilla's ability to learn from these moments and adapt will determine whether she is ultimately remembered as a unifying force or as someone who occasionally overplayed her hand. Ironically, Princess Charlotte is now emerging as a central figure of modern influence in the monarchy, redefining its future. Her actions reflect a growing confidence that sets her apart within the royal family. Though still young, Charlotte's ability to assert herself while maintaining the dignity expected of her station signals a shift that could redefine what it means to be royal in the 21st century. Charlotte's boldness carries broader implications for the monarchy as it navigates an era of unprecedented change. As traditions face increasing scrutiny and calls for modernization grow louder, Charlotte represents a bridge between the old and the new. Her ability to challenge without disrespect and to speak up while honoring protocol demonstrates an instinctive understanding of balance. This is a critical attribute for the monarchy's survival. She is learning early what it means to honor legacy while carving a space for individuality, lessons nurtured by both her parents and her great-aunt. In redefining royal norms, Charlotte offers hope for a more relatable monarchy, one that resonates with modern audiences while holding firm to its historical roots. Her willingness to act at such a young age, even in small but symbolic ways, reflects a future where royals are seen not just as figureheads but as individuals with conviction and purpose. This modern approach can connect the monarchy with younger generations who value authenticity and courage over ceremony. Charlotte's emerging confidence also speaks to the strength of her upbringing. Her parents have created an environment where self-assurance is encouraged, even within the confines of royal duty. By supporting Charlotte's ability to express herself, they are fostering a young leader capable of thriving under pressure while remaining true to herself. The world has already witnessed glimpses of this leadership in her public appearances. Whether it's guiding her siblings or standing firm during moments of tension, it is already clear that Charlotte may become one of the most impactful figures in the next generation of royals. While her brother Prince George will one day bear the weight of the crown, Charlotte's role as second in line offers its own unique influence, free from the immediate pressures of kingship. She has the opportunity to redefine her position, much like her great-aunt Anne. With her growing poise, confidence, and ability to navigate complex dynamics, Charlotte is well positioned to serve as a stabilizing force within the monarchy. Do you think Princess Charlotte will play a pivotal role in shaping the future of the monarchy? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, we'd love to hear. For now, though, we're out of here. Catch you in the next video.